UCLA at Washington Thursday, ESPN. Marco, what should bettors be looking at?
They should be looking at a lot of scoring in this game. Washington has one of the absolute worst rushing defenses in the country. UCLA loves to run the ball out of that pistol offense. When Washington has the ball, they can move the ball through the air against this UCLA defense. I see this as an up and down game, and it is a Thursday night game. You know how home teams, the crowd, this will be the last home game for Washington, so it is also senior night on a Thursday night, a little added atmosphere.
Okay, so you like the over. Now, typically a rabid home crowd is good for defense, right?
For a disruption with noise, yeah, they're gonna be more of an impact. But on the same token, if these two teams start going up and down the field, the crowd's gonna get into it. It's
okay, interesting. So you're saying the tenor of the game, if it does turn out the way you're handicapping it, which is a shootout, the crowd is gonna propel that forward.
I'm old school, so I like defense. But if you talk to most people, baseball, nobody wants to go watch a 1-0 game. They want to see a 9-8 slugfest, and it's the same way in football. They don't get excited about defense.
Speaking of old school, we had in the comment section, we had people predicting your age.
Yeah.
Now, I got to tell you something. I'm not sure if it's just the camera lies. That's possible. I'm not sure if it's the makeup and everything,
which I go,
oh, you do go out natural.
Yeah, you go with the makeup.
Well, competing against you, I've got to do something.
You need everything you can
Every
get.
chance I can get. All right. So then, now all joking aside now, I don't know if they're looking for free picks, like somehow, but you got a lot of guesses of your age in the 40s. Now, someone who's mighty smart said, wait a minute, the guy's been handicapping 31 years. When did you think he started? So why don't you officially give us your age?
My age is just 2 weeks ago, I turned 49. And I think No Limit actually got it on the button in a forum post. So it is 49.
Wow.
Contrary to what you make everybody think.
Okay, so all right, so we've got that answer. We've got that cleared up for sure. Washington, I get UCLA is going to score, in your opinion. What do you think about Washington?
Washington scored. Now, the quarterback Locker, there was some question marks on his injury. He had a rib injury. He has been upgraded to probable. Don't see a problem there. And, of course, you never can handicap if he gets drilled in the ribs and goes out of the game.
Understood.
But I like him, the fact that it is their final home game, and the situation that I like. This is the third highest total of the season that was put on a UCLA game. So Vegas is telling me they expect scoring in this game as well, with setting the high number.
All right, but if I'm confused, is if all it took was setting the high number or identifying, if I looked at the college card for this weekend and said, I'm going to take the 3 highest totals and bet over, that would seem to me to be the opposite. I would suggest take the 3 highest totals, bet under, take the 3 lowest and bet over.
See, there's a difference.
All right, that's what I'm asking.
Okay, the difference is I'm looking at UCLA themselves. I'm looking at what all of their totals on their games this year have been.
Okay.
So now you have a barometer of what the landscape is generally on a games. Because if you look at most teams, they're going to be within a couple points, their totals, most of the time, unless they're playing, a really extreme team that, has a high-flying offense. But UCLA, this game is their 3rd highest total of the year, and their last couple games haven't been as high scoring. So that makes me look.
So you're saying, all right, so let's be very clear here, because what you're saying value-wise is counterintuitive. I've got a high number, I want to go over. That's counterintuitive. What you're telling me is it feels trappy to you.
Exactly.
Is that the number seems too high. It's the 3rd highest, but at first glance, that it doesn't seem like the game warrants that, and thus you think Vegas is inducing under bets. You want to go over.
Exactly.
All right. So for you, this is it seems like a fundamental handicap, but then also a contrarian play against a perceived trap. Now, do you really think that Vegas traps towards the under? Because they know the public wants to bet over. I usually... the whole idea of a trap is they're inducing you to do something. Do they really try to swim upstream like that?
When you're coming to the totals on a TV game, it becomes a little bit more dicey. I will agree with you, because It is human nature. Vegas will tend to set a total a little bit higher on these TV games because we've talked about it numerous times. You set 100 people in a room that don't know anything about football and tell them bet over or under, their mentality is going to take the over.
So it doesn't seem like they want to trap you towards the under to me. But you know, again.
But it's better than me seeing the line come out lower than I thought, because then definitely I would be leery of the over because I would be respecting
I wish
the
the line was 8, the total. I'd go right over. Okay, a couple other things. I don't think either team looks good on the side. UCLA is 11-28 against losing teams. 11-28 ATS against losing teams. So they don't seem, and again, that to me is a cultural thing. I know there's all the coaching changes and all that, but when you recruit, you know, a certain type of player, and when there's a game they think they can win without necessarily putting their full effort in, they seem to do that. And again, this is over 39 games. Washington 18-30 at home. So you've got not a great home field. So I don't like either side. I will say this is both teams are still bowl eligible. And to me, that actually tends against the over, too. I think the intensity, and again, it's to get to 6 wins or whatever, I think the intensity is going to be there. I could probably lean under a little bit here. You want to give your formal projection?
I have it to the total. We're sitting at 53. I have the score. I'm calling for a Washington win 31-28, which is basically on the 9, right on the line for the side. But I like the game to go over. I will give you one note. You kind of touched on it with both are bowl eligible, but a bigger motivational fact if you like
so
UCLA.
You said 31-28?
Yeah, that's 59.
Okay. No, that's fine.
And
no, I misheard.
The UCLA side is sitting at 4-5. It is a psychological thing for teams that when you're sitting at that game that can take you to 500, it's such a, landscape to be 500 motivational wise. So if you're looking for one edge for UCLA, that would be with sitting at 4-5.
You mean a landmark?
Landmark, landscape. It gets the job done.
Now it's your turn to continue the conversation in the comment section with Marco and me. And next up, we're going to be talking Friday's game with Boise State. And Marco has a few apologies to make.